and welcome to Polar Transformations. I'm Christine and this is my next project. It is like a 1980s entertainment center. I don't even see them making them anymore. Well, they're very different now. It's really pretty sturdy, but it's missing the back. So that kind of, oh, I never even noticed. It looks like there was some sort of a lighting set up in here. I'm gonna have to fix that. And it's been sitting in my house forever, just being used as a storage unit. So I am going to pretty it up, or at least try to, and put a back on it, and at least make it something nicer than what it is. To do most of my filming inside. I am just going to clean this and get it sanded out here, because apparently my camera is not very good on sound outside. I can't figure out how to attach a microphone to it, so I'm working on that. I've only started looking into that today, but I will be bringing this in to actually do all of the work on it, but I can't sand in my house. So it is currently April. Yesterday was that whole solar eclipse thing, and didn't see anything here. And my son up in Pennsylvania got some really good pictures. One of the reasons I started this channel was to pay for our trip to Antarctica in December of 25. However, we are traveling to Rome this July, and my granddaughter is going with us, and we are then taking, so we're going to spend a couple of days in Rome, and then we're taking a 7-day, that's icky, a 7-day cruise to the Greek islands. So the ship that we're going on has a thing called the North Star, where it goes up in the air and looks over the ship, which is really, really cool. However, I am scared of heights, and I'm going to make videos for every day of our trip. So that'll be really fun. But my students, because as you know, I teach at a high school, my students were like, are you going to take video while you're in the, up in the air? And I said, yeah, but I might not do it. My husband's probably going to have to do it, because I'm just going to be holding on. And, but I am going to do it because, well, because we booked it, and because my granddaughter will be there, who's graduating high school. So she's not a little kid, she's a big kid. She is a young adult now. And we are all going up in it, so I'm not going to chicken out. We went to Seattle. I totally chickened out. You know, they have an emergency escape route for a reason, which I used. So we were going up to the Space Needle, and I got almost to the elevators and panicked and got off. So they might find me laying on the floor crying, but I am going to go up in it. So I will post videos of all of those. We have 4 days in Rome and 7 days on the ship, and I'm going to have a different video for each one of those, because it is going to be so amazing. The back of the entertainment center was missing, and across the bottom I took that off because we had cut a big hole in it and I wanted just one solid piece. If I make a hole in it, I'm going to drill it nicely instead of just the big square that was cut out of it. So we cut a piece for the back, because once you take all of the back out, that's really flimsy. But I got some napkins just at Hobby Lobby, and I am going to line the back of this with these. Oops, that's 2 of them. And let me see, because I just opened the package, and they are double layered. So, while I don't want this being very feminine looking, and I did get flowers, but you'll see what I'm going to do with them. Okay, I'm going to cover this whole thing with this. So the first thing I'm going to do is take some of, this is actually some of the polyacrylic, but it's in flat. I'm going to just try and get just enough to cover where my napkin is going. So these are just paper napkins that have pretty designs on them, nothing special. They're not any thick paper. This is actually just a piece of paneling. I have done some paneling in my living room. Let's see if that's enough. And this is just, actually this is the back of it. So let's see. I was going to put gloves on. I probably should do that. And I'm okay with it even being a little wrinkly. So this is 2 layers, but that kind of got the initial stick on there. Nice. Okay, so I'm going to go over it again across the top of it to get it really glued on there. Make sure it's saturated. I just want to show you how flimsy this thing is. With the complete back off of this, look at this. So before I can put the back on here, which it really needs to be, I don't want to have to tape over that. So I really need to get the inside of this painted, and I am doing it with Dixie Belle Rustic Red. I've had this in my closet for a really long time. So at least this one was sealed. Some of the ones that I got were all broken open. That's why they were gifted to me in the first place. Okay, let me just make sure that this is all mixed up. Okay, so normally I water down my paint, and I'm not going to do that this time. I am clumpy a little bit. Okay, so normally I water down my paint. I'm not going to do it this time. I am just going to wet my brush and spray a little bit of water on here. But I'm thinking on this project, I don't know, other people use less paint than I do, so I don't know. But I tend to go through more. And I'll probably end up using this. I have a bigger container of the same color. So I'm going to spritz my brush a little bit. And I'm going to spritz my area a little bit. And ooh, might have spritzed it a little bit too much, but that's okay. You get a nice light coating, and everything except for the top is getting a coat of red. I got 2 coats of the dark red on here. I didn't put the back on, so we're still really shaky. And I want to try this technique, and I'm not sure if it's going to work. And I didn't know if I wanted to go with red or black, but I'm going to, just to kind of keep the consistency, I'm going to use the red. I like the fact that it's a dark red, and because I am whitewashing the top of it just to lighten it up. But I want all of these grooves to be highlighted, and I don't want to just wax them afterwards. If I need to, I will. I have no idea how this is going to look or come out, but I just want to try and get in all the grooves with some color. Now, they're already a little bit darker because I didn't really sand it all the way down, but I really want to accentuate that. And I am then going to, let's see, because there's more up here, and not the easiest to get into, but what I do have, and we'll see how that works. I don't want it to take off too much, because I want it to stay just in all of those grooves. So before I go too far, let me see. So I have a wet paper towel. Hopefully it's not too wet. And I just want to kind of keep it at the surface level of wiping things off. So I'm wiping across the grooves. I'm trying not to press like into the grooves. All right, let me try it with the dry. So they're still wet. So they're kind of bright, but as that dries, okay, let me try not moving. As that dries, and then I whitewash over it, you'll still see that. This is just from Walmart. Oh, let's see if it'll focus. Waverly wax in, it says plaid. It's antiqued. It's the brown. And I want to go over this with it. I don't know if I have enough. We'll see how this works. Maybe something different. Okay, let me see what I think of this. So, I have mixed some of the red paint with what I had left of that wax. It is a water-based. And watered it down so it's more of a wash. I feel like maybe I should put more water in that, but we'll see. And I'm going to see what I think of this. Okay, so I figured at this point there's nothing to lose, right? I mean, I can always restart. It's not a big deal. But I add a whole lot more water to it. And I am just going to cover this. Let me get rid of my paper towel. We'll come back to that in a second. All right, let's... Ooh. Okay, I am whitewashing this top, and I have a 50-50 mix of some white chalk paint by Rust-Oleum, because that's what I had on hand. Oh, I do the top first. I want to make sure that I don't drip all over my red, which is a very real possibility. Let me do this. Should put a towel over it or something. Ew. Okay, so I got this laying on the floor, and I need to put the backing back on it, and then it won't be so wiggly, and getting it plumb and straight might not be as easy of a thing. So, we're going to do the best that we can. Okay, I think I got it all straightened out. And I'm going to see if my stapler, this one, is powerful enough. Okay, starting to come together. Yay, getting down to the end of this. Alright, just putting on a coat of, well, actually 2 coats of the polyacrylic, because that's what I have on hand. And I'm going to do it in the clear satin. So, funny, I forgot to paint my shelf that went in here. So, I had to get that done. Let's see how that looks over the white. But by putting on the, ooh, I'm echoing in here. By putting the top coat on it and then doing the wax on it, I'll be able to control it without it soaking into the napkins. Alright, time to get the rest of this coated with top coat. So let me get that in my plate, little styrofoam plate. And I am using my sponge. I'm actually going to use my sponge this time, because I have all of these vertical parts. And it'll be easier to get this on with the sponge. Just to get that chalk paint sealed in. Okay, we'll see how this works. I got a new light and it's kind of really reflecting off of that, and I don't really like the light either, but we're gonna figure this out. And I want to tone this down a little bit from just being the red, so I'm gonna use some of my, let's see, can I get it? Yeah. Dixie Belle Best Dang Wax in black, and I'm gonna go over this and see how. Now this is also, I have the top coat on that, and this is water-based, so I can so I can wipe it off if I need to. I just really want to tone down So if you can see the tone down to this side, which is very much brighter, but very pinkish, very girly, and I don't want it so feminine. Okay, I want to highlight some of this with some black. I got some red in there, and I just want to tone this down. I've already put some top coat on it. Let all the little nooks and crannies get some in it. And wipe off the excess. Just leave some in all of those grooves. I'm also going to tone down the red and just darken it on all of the outside pieces. Now I just need to get my last coat of top coat on.